Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough for Paperback Adventures with the Ex Machina character versus that character's set of enemies. This is the second of 3 videos I am doing on Paperback Adventures, one of my favorite games that I've played in the last couple of years. I am playing through all 3 character packs, and today it is Ex Machina's turn. If you're completely unfamiliar, Paperback Adventures is a deck-building, roguelike word game. The original Paperback was a deck-building word game in which you had a series of letters, and you were progressively spelling words and acquiring cards and improving your ability to spell greater and greater scoring letters. Paperback Adventures adds a character that you are able to develop over the course of your games and adds a series of enemies that as you progress, you will have harder and harder challenges ahead of you. This playthrough video will not contain a how to play section. If you want to know how to play, please go into the playlist for the One Stop Co-op Shop, the Paperback/Fowers Games playlist. You'll see my crowdfunding video where I give a full tutorial of the basic rules. But for now, let's delve into the dungeon. Ex Machina versus their enemies, Paperback Adventures Part 2. This is the One Stop Co-op Shop. You're on the YouTube channel. We also have our YouTube stream channel. Please make sure you're subscribed to both of those channels and like the videos that you enjoy. We have our podcast, hundreds of episodes of gaming-focused coverage on your favorite podcast feed, the One Stop Co-op Shop podcast. We have our Discord community, which is great and welcoming and always talking about games and very safe and very welcoming. So if you feel like dropping by, please check out the show notes. There is a link to the Discord there. We have our Patreon. We would appreciate a contribution that keeps the games on the table, the tech upgraded. In exchange, you get access to exclusive channels in the Discord as well as exclusive videos. But if you just want to join our community, we would love to have you. Once again, the basic tiers and access to all of our wonderful community is free to join. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. All right, so let's get into Ex Machina, made of metal. He became the most human of all. First up is Metal Shell in terms of keywords. If the bottom card is a consonant, gain a listed bonus. Bottom card can be a wild. Here's an example. So you would normally gain 1 boon by playing this card, but there is a condition, and there needs to be a consonant on the bottom. It's a kind of an easy condition to fulfill. So hopefully I don't come back to eat my words there. Shields down, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Give that much hex to the boss, period. Then, if the enemy is attacking, add that much damage to their attack this turn. So kind of imagine that the hero is going back and forth with the boss. The hero sees an opening, and when the boss is not going to attack and lowers their shields in order to do their big infliction of status effect. They might push their luck though, because if I really want to get those hexes up, then I would do it during an attack, and that would make it more dangerous. And so this would be an example. If I started a word with S, or ended it, if I played a certain way, then I would be able to put 2 hex on the boss and hopefully not take too much damage in exchange. Then there's Reflect. If the enemy is attacking, gain a listed bonus for each excess block you have higher than their damage. So then if the effect is Reflect, gain 1 attack, you have 6 block, and the enemy is attacking for 4, you would gain 2 attack. Here's another example. This A. I would gain not the attack, but the energy. So that if I blocked for 6 and it was a 4 attack, I would gain 2 energy. Last up is Retain. If this card was not used in your word, you keep it till next round. You still draw your normal amount of cards. So that's actually pretty powerful. I don't have any Retain in my starter hand, but those are going to come in their advanced deck. All right, so we have 2 core items. First up is Laser Eyes. This one's pretty cheap. Spend that much hex, do that much damage. The more hex, the more damage. Very straightforward. Reboot Switch. Spend 1 boon. Discard as many cards as you want from your hand, then draw a card for each card you discarded plus an additional card. Trying to circle through, get to the better cards, and doesn't cost anything. That's really nice. Well, it costs the boon, which is pretty expensive, but don't have to spend any extra energy. And Rocket Punch. This one is pretty pricey, but for all that, you get 2 attack and 2 defense. Very nice. Here is the schmuck at the beginning of the dungeon, the book One Lackey, the sludge alien. Enemy vowel is you. I will be able to put you into all of my words. If I make it into 3 words, I'd be totally surprised. I give 2 hex and add a penalty card to your discard pile. So it's not an attack. It's setting up an attack for later. And then cycle to here, block 2, and deal 1 damage for every hex. So then if I allow this sludge alien, sorry about that, to persist, and I have a couple of rounds to do 10 damage. But if I get it back and forth, then it would add up the hex and increase its damage. Don't want that. It's also volatile when it's stunned, which means I do the 10 damage and I flip it. Instead of being having their turn negated, they're going to thwap me for 5. All right, so we are going to draw our opening hand. First turn. We have D-O-N-T. I love when the deck comes out spitting out a word. Only that's not a word. There's an apostrophe in there somewhere, so I got to figure out something else to do with this. One thing to observe about the cards, at least Ex Machina's deck, there are going to be plenty of cards that will have me lose HP and for some kind of benefit. That's terrible. Hit points are so scarce. But there is this N that allows me to heal too. There's only one N. I don't understand. I don't know why this wouldn't be like a play style where it's like, okay, damage yourself, heal yourself. I was kind of expecting that. I guess a little bit there's one, and I'm going to try to go for more. As it is, we are going to spell donut with our special vowel. Reason I'm spelling it this way, there's a lot of defense, which is going to be useless. But if I have 4 or more defense, gain 4 attack, that's actually better than what I would get on the other side. So then that would only be 3 attack. I can count. 4 is more than 3. So, bam, 10 to 6. And oh, by the way, these are metal components that are going into these compartments over here. Sometimes it's a little bit futzy trying to manipulate these components because the compartments are a little bit smaller than they should be. But I'm going to do the best that I can for the sake of the playthrough. And so I get myself 2 energy. And I am going to get myself 2 hex because that's what the boss is going to do. So I have both of those things slid up right there. And boo, a penalty card. These are negative cards. They don't do anything. If I don't use them, something terrible would happen to me. Like in this case, lose 2 energy. So I really need to get on that penalty card thing and not get too many. Take this one out before it goes again. And oh, by the way, at the end of the turn, because I did not use the wild that turn, I am going to get 1 more energy. All right, next up we have another 4 letters. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. R-S-E-L. That seems workable. We are going to supplement that attack with Rocket Punch. And we are going to use this U again. I'm going to eat my words on this U. It's definitely come through for me. Rules. R-U-L-E-S, which is a nice little wallop over there. So with the Rocket Punch, that is actually 6. So block 2 is 4. So that brings the boss down from 6 to 2. And gives me 4 energy, which is why I felt free to do that. Because I get it back, and I would do it next turn. So then, first of all, actually last of all, and most important of all, I get to put on some hex in the boss, which is really important. All right, so now it is going to block 2 of that, which it did, and deal 1 damage for every skull on me. I have 2 skulls, but that's why I did Rocket Punch, because I'm able to block that and keep on going. Those are my last 2 cards in the deck, W and A. These are my 2 fatigue cards. Let's go ahead and pull 2 cards. Right there, L-O-W-A. Word is not leaping out to me right now. Don't need to use Rocket Punch because I don't need the damage. I'm going to see if I can turn the boss over this turn. And oh, by the way, I did gain another energy. I'm bad at that. Noting when I get the energy when I don't use the wild card. So now I have 5. All right, so let us spell owl. I could not use all my letters, but I'm okay with that. All right, I lose HP. I'm not okay with that. I need to hit that N, hopefully next turn, and to gain 4. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8 with the Rocket Punch, which, by the way, I did end up using it. So that is 8 damage total. So that is going to be 2. That flips the boss, and they are going to come back 12, overflow of 6, and there we go. And they are going to execute their attack. Instead of just being stunned and not doing anything, they are going to hit me for 5 damage. I block for 1. Rocket Punch is 2, 3, so that puts me down at 17. I'll take that trade because I think I can get them next turn. And once again, there we go. One more energy. So I have 2 turns to do something. 1 turn to heal and 1 turn to attack. So if I want to heal, and I do kind of want to heal, I don't like the fact that I'm damaging myself to do things. No thank you on that one, but at least I got my N. Let's keep the N on top. Let's keep the pressure on. We're going nerdy. So let's us heal 2, getting me up to 19. And 1-2 damage. It brings the Lackey down from 6 to 4, and I also get a precious energy. Do not get the wildcard energy, but I don't need it this turn. I'm gonna get 4. So I really better overcome this block 2 and take the alien down next turn. Think I can do it. And I also use this Y, so the Y goes away. All right, we are going to pull these 2 cards. I know what they are, S and A. We also shuffled the discard pile, so we're going to get 2 more cards. Big money, big money. Nope, not the D. W and L. Ugh, I can't stand W. What are you doing in my deck? This is the last round of the game, so let's go ahead and fire off Laser Eyes and Rocket Punch. Laser Eyes, for every hex spent on the boss, I get to inflict that much damage. So that was 1 energy. 2 hexes. I get to spend those 2 and do 2 damage that bypasses armor. Very important. Then Rocket Punch. We're going to add 2 laws. So then we go. First of all, I get, I even get the metal shell bonus. That's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and gain 1 boon. So we have 2 from the Rocket Punch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus 2 is 5. I didn't get to hit you in the face. That was totally intentional. That's what I'm here to do. Not get hit in the face. Here is the loot card. Every boss has a loot card, so I'm going to be reading those as we go along. They are not together, so these bosses are meant to interact. So there's some on the base set, there's some on each of the character sets, so you can mix and match. And this will happen to be using the straight up one from Ex Machina for ease, but totally modular experience. You carefully wipe the alien goo off your weapons and flee the odorous monster's presence. In the alien's cramped crystalline lair, you find a marvelous object trapped inside one of the larger crystals. Draw 2 cards from the library. Choose one to replace a card in your deck. Draw a MacGuffin, and upgrade a card in your deck. All right, first of all, I get to choose from among these 2 cards. H, if you have 4 shield or more, which is pretty... wow, that makes it easy for you. Gain 4. Or O, if you have 2 boon or more, gain 2 and 2. How much boon can I generate with my basic cards? Not too much. I'd be making an investment if I had the O to A, generate boon, and B, not spend it all. So the way the shop works, this is random. These are rewards. This is shopping that I can do, and I use boons to shop. And I plan on using boons to shop, so I don't know if I'm going to be using O2 too much. I'd have to really construct my deck in order to get there. That's okay. Let's try H. All this defense, especially for a character that likes to hurt himself. Let's go ahead and trade that for T. T is far less symbols. It's a much more useful letter, but everything in here is good. And I cannot replace the vowels. Plus, W and H do go together in many, many words. So as much as I'm really loath to say goodbye to T, goodbye T. And let's draw a random MacGuffin. When you draw random MacGuffins, they come from the bottom of the deck. And they're always generally good. At the end of every battle, you'll heal 2 if you have 10 HP or less. Oh, boy. It's like, oh, man, asking for bad stuff. Gain 5 max HP. Does not affect your current HP. You know what? Let's go for some healing and damaging self and get some of that. The reward for beating the first level boss is usually a big heal, so that would get me to the 25. So let's go ahead and try Lady's Favor and see how that works out for me. So the way the shop works, like I said, you get to spend your boon. I have 1 boon. Could not buy an item. Those are 2. Could not buy a MacGuffin. Those are 3. I could buy a letter. Not the Damon letters. They tend to be a little bit more expensive and better. I could buy P or I, but I'm going to hold on to my boon for the next round, which is coming up, Book 1, Boss. So we are on to the next boss, the Nameless Agent. You see this, the E that I have for the enemy valve. But before I get into the close-up here, I forgot to mention that I'm going to do an upgrade of a card, which is going to be the N. I'm going to go whole hog into healing and then using the cards that damage myself. Heal, damage, heal, damage. This being my only healing card. Let's see if I get another one. That sounds like fun. All right, so first of all, they have one boon to start with. Each boon prevents one skull. So I don't have a character right now that totally depends on skulls. They are going to get more boons on their other side. So got to watch out for that. They are going to attack. This one attacks pretty relentlessly. I'm going to hopefully beat them before I get to this last one. Deal 12 damage. Ugh, that does not sound like a pleasure. These first ones, I deal 2 damage. That's okay. I block 5. I can overcome that. Gotta watch out for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, cool. So this is what I wanted. I have some difficult letters here, but they pair. That's nice. That's like, kind of like getting Q, make sure you have a U. W and H, there's lots of words that have those 2 letters. So here's where the word game comes in and the ability to kind of see the letters around and make different combinations. Whole really leaped out at me. All I need is that E. I have the common E. That would have been fine. But other than weak sauce to attack, that's just not going to do a whole lot of good. So instead, we are going to make Howl. Beautiful. All right, this does a couple of things. First of all, I blocked that 2 damage. Great. Second of all, I'm going to get 2 energy, 1 from the card and 1 from not using my wild card. Yes, these metal things are as fiddly as you see on the screen. Here's the good part, though. So I have 4 or more block. Thank you for O for being a shield on the right side. Got to remember that combo. If I have 4 or more, gain 4. Nice. So then this is 4, 5, 6. That's what I'm talking about. Take advantage of the weaker defense and give a nice little wallop for the boss. All right, so next up, I have common letters, more common letters because I know my W and H are my 2 hardest letters. R, E, and A, sure. Now, I could have gone in many directions with this word. I could spell near, I could spell arena. The N would be nice because I would heal 4, but I want to try to flip them before they get to the 12 damage. So I just love how the game, you have your strat, and obviously my strat is to heal as much as possible and kind of reprise, but I have to adjust to the boss. So one of my favorite parts of the game. So let's go renal, having to do with the kidneys. So then I'm going to give 2 hex. That's definitely going to get used next lesson in order to get this one down. They block the 5, so that is unfortunately a waste, but they don't do anything to me. Should probably be better about switching these, huh? But I do get 3 energy, which is really nice. So now let's remember to do that. All right, so the last letters in my deck were S, D. Let's go ahead and pick 2 more letters. W and L. This W. So I think I can get away with still building up laser eyes and just rely on the rocket punch here. So thankfully, I can go into many directions with this word. I can go lewd, welds, that kind of thing. But we are going to go with slowed. I slowed you down, boss. That was such a lame dad joke. Holy moly, I've never seen such terrible dad joking. Anyway, all right, so the reason being, so I can get my 6 with the rocket punch. So that is 7. So let's go ahead and flip this boss with the 7 damage. It is not going to execute its 12 damage attack. I am liking that. It has 16 hit points, and the overflow brings it to 15. I get 2 energy back, so that brings me to 4. Biggest one, though, is the power. Shields down. Give hex equal to that number over here. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that over. That would have added damage to the boss. However, because they're not attacking, a perfect time to get shields down. I'm liking that aspect of Ex Machina of judging when the shields are down so that you could do your better thing. 2 hex on a turn, in addition to other cards that give 2 hex, is excellent. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the rest of my hand. It is O-A-N-E. If I can't make a word out of those, come on now. Rules error, I will have noted this earlier. I forgot to account for the fact that they had a boom which blocked one of my hexes. That's a big deal. I need to get the hex to 4 because that's how you get the better damage. Could have gone many ways. I had the A option for reflect, and I have a lot of shield, so that would have gotten me a lot of energy. But because I need to get to 4 hexes, I mean, I don't need to. I could do it in many ways. Not sure exactly how I want to do it, but I think that'll be my best play, especially with all that block. Let's go with alone because I want to get a boon. That also helps to get me something that I want and also give that last hex before they increase their crowns over there. I don't deal any damage. I only give myself 1 energy. That part's stinky. Well, I block the 2 and they get the 2. So I'm not going to be able to put on more hex until I deal with that, which will be really important because they're going to block the next incoming damage twice. So now I'm kind of down in cards. I only have 6 cards left. So the letters are going to be a little bit more consistent. Let's see what I can do with all that. So I am realizing, this is the first time I'm playing Ex Machina, by the way. I had called this card to make room for another. This is where a lot of his attack comes from. No, I need to replace that card fairly immediately. Hopefully I can get through this boss and rectify my mistake. So we are going to go with Dale, which is unfortunate because I don't have enough to penetrate the block. Oh well, but I am going to get 2 energy out of that, one of which I will have used on Laser Eyes. You have to use the prep items first before you spell your letter, but it's out of order. It's fine for now. This one, I spend the 4 hex that I have on there to do 7 damage at the low cost of 1 energy. So let's go ahead and spend that energy and give 7 damage, which brings the boss down to 8. That is the big hit. And I'm going to kind of dink and dunk. Until then, D lets me move a card from my fatigue pile to my discard pile, which is going to be this S for the only reason, 2 swords. All right, we have O and N. Oh, O is just getting in my way. O is such a weak card. It's really bad. And I only have, 4 cards left in hand even after that fatigue thing. So let's go ahead and pick 2 of them, S and L. Ooh. If I had more production value in his videos, it would be like a ticking clock. This is the 12 damage bomb that is coming. What we're going to do is we are going to use this energy for Rocket Punch and bump up our damage just a little bit. That 1 damage may make all the difference. 1 damage because it is 5 block, 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes 6 with the Rocket Punch. -5 would be the 1 damage. And because I want to get boons, let's get boons. And also 2 energy, which is definitely going to get spent on Rocket Punch. All right, so I know I'm going to get these 2 cards, W and A. I'm kind of hoping for that O, so let's see if I am able to pull that O from my last card. I don't know how I managed to not draw 5 cards because I have the resources for it. There we go. O and N, I'll take it. Reason I'll take it is because this O has the same powers that T I showed you. Lose 1 HP and gain 4 attack. So that brings me down to 18. But that's okay because I have 4, 5, 6 with Rocket Punch. That is 8, and that hits the boss before they are able to get off their 12 damage. Whoo! You outsmarted me this time, rookie. Just wait until I come back. We shall see about that. You search the agent's possessions, hoping to find any clues about why such a dangerous man would be stalking you. What did you do wrong? Who does he work for? Unfortunately, you're left with more questions than answers. Draw 3 from the library and choose 1 to add to your deck. That's going to be some offense. Draw 4 boss MacGuffins to keep 1 and heal 8 HP. Did pretty good managing the HP. I only managed to go down to 18 with some shenanigans. Because of the lady's favor, there we go. Game +5. I am now at the possible maximum of 25 hit points. So now I'm definitely going to look for a card where I hit myself in order to do something else. So that is my outlay of cards. Looking at these cards, I don't have that here. Fatigue pile, gain hex, shields down, although that's really nice. I might go for that because I really need offense over here. And it has shields down. Ooh, real possibility. Lose 1 HP and draw 2 more cards. Ugh, I already have that with the W. And yeah, just drawing, especially as you get closer to the end game, you don't have that many cards to draw. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's see. We're going to pick 3 of these. We got the E. If you splayed left, gain 4. Definitely a strong contender for offense. Metal shell, gain 4. This definitely looks like it's kind of a shell opportunity over here. And a T, lose 1 and gain 5. Ooh, I just called a T. Wow. It's very strong contenders. They're all, look at that, a little offense sticking out at me. Let's just go ahead with this. Man, this E is really strong. Look at all that energy, but more offense. Let's go ahead and see how that works. I draw 4 boss MacGuffins. My goodness. The choices, and they're all going to be good. Let's see. All right. I'll keep in mind, by the way, you might not see this in your set immediately, some of these cards. Spoiler alert, I've beaten the game a bunch of times. You have envelopes for unlocks, and those unlocks will be shuffled into your deck. I have some of the unlocks in here. So I don't remember which ones. So I'm sorry if I'm spoiling a little thing, but I don't know if that's too much of a big deal. We'll see. Enchanted arrows. Non-core items can be used as many times as you want. Ooh, so that would be like multiple rocket punches in a turn. Depends on a heavy item strat. I don't know about that. Retain any cards in your hand and not in your word at the end of the turn. Very strong. If your word doesn't use any wild cards or enemy val cards, gain 2. Wow, I often do that. So because especially I have difficult letters in there. When I block all damage from an enemy attack, the enemy loses HP equal to half the damage blocked, rounded up. So this would be a heavy block strategy with the spiked buckler. So I've gotten cards with a lot of block. I've never played like this. That's another reason why I love this game. Different strategies to explore. I've never stacked a bunch of block on my cards and used that in the offense. So let's go ahead and use the spike buckler and see how that works out for me. So a good combo for that is Force Field. Force Field, if I get the 5, I would rotate this card and it would generate 2 blocks for me this turn. If I'm able to get that up early and block some big damage, that actually turns into more damage for me and protection. Sure, why not? Let's see if that works out. That's going to cost me 2 boon. I'm down to 1, and that is my setup. I'm on to the book 2 Lackey. All right, so here we have the Titan. 18 hit points to start. Enemy Val is I. I deal 10 damage. Told you, going to have some more damage coming in. So maybe this defensive strat might work out for me. If your word has 3 letters or less, I deal 3 damage instead. Okay, we can work with that. I deal 6 damage, block 5, and gain some boon. On the other side, Titan will turn boon into damage. Your items that cost more than 1 only cost 1. Ho ho! That item that costs 5 is very happy. Whenever you use an item, I gain 1 boon. My Force Field Shield Buckler combo is very happy. I can cast this Force Field for 1. That's definitely getting happening next turn. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. ELAD. Lots of opportunity here. You wanted 3 letters, Titan? You got 3 letters. Ale. ALE. We got 1 energy from the card and 1 energy from the unused wild. So 2 is very important. 3 blocks there, 3. Spiked Buckler. When I block all the damage from an enemy attack, that is an attack, the enemy loses HP equal to half the damage block rounded up. Not only did I completely negate your turn, Titan, I reprised that damage. I see some possibilities. And oh yeah, I get to put a hex on you. I got a spell on you. And a boon for myself. Wow, that could not have been a better first turn. All right, let's draw up 4 more cards. RTOH. And before I pass go, before the Titan changes his mind, let me go ahead and spend the 1 energy. Yes, I'm very well aware that the metal components, just the componentry here in general is a little bit futzy. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and turn that force field around. Start of your turn, gain 2. If this card is rotated, that just lasts the whole battle. And so now I have a force field of a defense that is going to turn into attack with the buckler. Oh, I love that. While I'm at it, if we're going to be cheap about it, let's just go ahead and do Rocket Punch. Why not? All right, let's use my new toy over here, this T that I got, Throw. Let's see, lose 1 HP. I'm all the way rocketed down to 24 HP. And gain 5 offense, which is the important part. So that's going to be 6 offense total. So that boss goes down from 6 to 10, or 16 to 10 right there. All right, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block, 6, 7, 8, 9 block because of the buff that I have. Blocks the 6 damage. 6 damage blocked becomes 3 offense, down from 10 to 7. I'm so excited about that. And I also get 2 energy to set up Rocket Punch again. I mean, the boss is just beating himself at this point. All right, these were the last cards in my deck. NWS reshuffled. I get myself an A. I don't have to look at this too much right now. A lot of it is just coming from the cards. There's probably not a lot of reason not to use Rocket Punch because it only costs 1. It's just asking to make it happen, so that's cool. Swan. The block is the opportunity to use those shields down. So that is 2. So shields down will put 2 hex on the boss. Took my taunts. We're going to go ahead and get 3 energy out of that. 2 for the cards and 1 for the unused wild. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Block 5. 2 is going to penetrate. I believe I'm going to be able to take the Titan out next turn and avoid that little 10 damage shenanigan there. All right, I only have 5 cards left in the deck, so let's go ahead and pull those 4. DLOR. What's this last card? H. That's the difficult card. Did not get it this turn. Rocket Punch, Rocket Punch, boom, boom. The visual is great. This tiny little robot constantly punching up at this Titan at the reduced power, so I'm definitely going to use it every turn. Let's go ahead and spell Lord. So that gets me 3 energy back. Once again, the unused wild. I should have got that card that let me get benefits from the unused wild. Oh, well. Buckler would not have gotten that. Was the whole trade-off. What are you going to do? I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm very excited about this game. Metal Shell. There is a consonant on the bottom, so I gain the 1 boon. That brings me up to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off the Rocket Punch is 0. So the Titan turns over before they throw that 12 damage at me. So now I deal 1 damage for every boon on me. I heal for every boon on me. So that's not too bad so far, but I think the idea is that the boss is going to last a little while and build up. I'm not going to let that happen. Oh boy. The part that I didn't read. Whenever you use an item, I gain boon. Uh-oh. Rocket Punch 3 times, Force Field once, and the 2 boon they got on the other side. They're at 6 boon. They're about to do 6 damage and heal 6. What have I done? That is hilarious. There's so much to think about in terms of playthrough and everything. You saw the H from last round. Let's go ahead and add NDA to it. This should be interesting. Walking into what the boss does really well. Let's stop using my items. How's that? And let's go ahead and play hand. So 1 damage for every boon on me is 6 damage. I'm actually block all that. 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the force field is 7. I block it. I would deal the damage back, but they also heal 1 for every boon on them, so they're back to full. Oh, man, that is an unfortunate turn of events. I do get 2 more energy from the unused wild and the thing over here, and move a card from my fatigue pile to my discard pile. It's basically going to be the same card every time because I'm going to use it every time. It's going to be an S. That's definitely going to be improved whenever I get to it. For the next turn, they are going to deal 20 damage. Let's see if I can get 20 shield up because I triple my shield this turn and reprise that. All right, so these are the cards that I have left in my deck. ROW. I like the look of those shields. Shuffle these cards up. Let's see if I get the card that I want. Yes. Check this out. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to spell a little bit of a bluer word than I ordinarily would on a family-friendly playthrough, but it is not a curse word. I just want to give any families a flag that for the next 2 minutes you might see a word that you might not love. The word is whore. Because I have a W. That was almost inevitable, or at least a WH. Anyway, so that is 7. Tripled is 21. I block the 20 damage. That's even without the force field. So then blocking the 20 damage, that is going to get me. So I block the 20. I reprise for 10. It goes from 18 to 8. Oh! Ah! Titan. You're going down! Oh, I get 1 energy that time because now I'm not using the energy off of my items. I know a little bit better now. And let's get that valuable 2 boon on there. Fantastic. And so I just realized I can keep the camera right here because I am going to use Laser Eyes. Laser Eyes. Let's go ahead and spend that 1 energy. Yes, you get a boon. Why not? I'll give you that credit for that. And spend, well, 1 energy and 4 hex to do 7 damage. So that is from 8 to 1. So this is the next area. There is no block, so I just have to do a damage. Let's spell a word. A. A is a word. Oh, no. That was quite the spiky buckler. The black and white building-sized monstrosity licks its wounds and retreats back into the ocean. You don't let the beast's exit get in your head, though, and you continue to search for the information needed to stop these scientific mishaps once and for all. Do a replacement card to library and upgrade 2 cards in my deck. I will absolutely take that. All right, so I get to enjoy myself over here. Let's see what I can swap out. A W? Likely not, unless I do it as a swap. Reflect, gain 1. I don't know. That's a possibility because I don't love my W right now. We'll see. S, if you splayed right, heal 2, which I'm doing nothing but splaying right. But healing, do I need healing? I'm at 24. I don't know. Who knows? G, you lose 1 HP and gain 2 boon. Ooh, that would make my deck a little bit harder to navigate. But, God, get 2 boon? I don't know. The G was a very strong contender. I'm going to say, have a difficult time saying goodbye to all that boon, but I am going to swap W's. This is the W that I had. Lose 1 HP and draw 2 more cards. I didn't use this power once. And I'm doing fine with the cards that I already have. So let's just go ahead and replace that with this W. Reflect, gain 1. Now that I'm gaining more and more shields, I'll be reflecting for more and more energy, which will let me keep me in Rocket Punch as long as I want. I am going to spend 2 boon. Bringing me down to 1 on Smoke Bomb. I had 0 interest in this card, but now that I have the Shield Buckler, both you and the enemy gain 3 shield this turn. It just seems so hilarious. It's actually a toxic smoke that I'm going to be unleashing, and the low cost of 1 energy. I mean, come on now. What is replacing it? Moon Boots, gain 4 this turn if you have 4 more boon on you. I'm not keeping my boon, so don't know if I'm going to use Moon Boots. We'll see about that. Lastly, I upgrade 2 cards. So many good candidates. Every single one is good, but we're going to go with L and R. So Metal Shell will now get me the 2 boons, so I don't regret passing on that G so much. So I'll be getting a little bit more boon from turn to turn. And also, I'll be giving out more skulls from turn to turn. We go from 2 to 3. On to Book 2, Boss. All right, this is a little bit nuts. Forget that R. That's back down to 2 hex. Let's improve this H. H, your shields also count as a weapon this turn. Combo, combo, combo. All right, next up is the Sentient AI Book 2 Boss. 14 hit points. The vowel is E, which is much better than all the other ones. First power, I block 4. Then you add a penalty card to the top of your deck. I have not seen any penalty cards this turn, so sure. Or at least very few penalty cards this game, so bring them on. I'm ready for them. And then I deal 4 damage and gain 2 boon. I start with 2 boon. Each boon prevents 1 hex and then is removed. So going to play a little bit of a lower hex game this time, but I am flexible enough to take care of it, and let's see if on the other side it will do some damage that I can reprise in your face. All right, let's see what I get to start. DWTS. That's why they give you wilds and boss vowels. Sometimes you pull something with not a single vowel. You got to do your best. All right, so let's go with Stew using the enemy vowel. A setup turn. Let's get 4 energy, 3 off the cards, 1 off the unused wild, and useless block and useless attack. Shields down, though. Perfect time to use shields down. That will be 2 hex on the boss. Blocks 4, that's okay. Add a penalty card to the top of my deck. The penalty card is F. Never mind. All the shields down does is remove 2 of the boon, which I don't really have anything better to do with this turn. So we're going to just go ahead and let that stand. All right, next set of cards. We know about the F. I like the L because F and L do pair. FLOE. Which I bet some people out there didn't know, because I didn't know. I kind of knew, but I've confirmed off camera that FLOE, flow, ice flow, that's a genuine word. So let's get rid of this F right away. All the F does is slow me down. So I can't like do that whole thing of like turn the boss in 2 turns. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I get 1, 2 energy from that, 1 plus the unused card. Gain 1. Give 1 hex, which they actually absorbed the hex this time, which is why it was important to get those shields down. And I gain 1 boon, like that. Deal 4 damage? No, you don't. So you block the 4 damage, so you take 2. To eat that, 14 to 12, but you do gain this 2 boon back, and gonna cycle a lot, and so I'm not really built for big Nova damage unless you're doing it to me, so we might be here a while. All right, so I only have 4 cards in my deck. That is going to be HANR. We are going to put up the force field because I can turn the force field into offense. All right, let's go ahead and spell a nice fat word, hanger. That is a G, Hanger. So shields also count as swords this turn. So that is, I have my force field up, so that's 5 shields turns into 5 swords. 6, 7, 8. Block 4, and so that is down from 12 to 8. So I like that. And I get 2 energy, not the 3 because here's my wild card that I have used. Now the boss is going to do stuff to me. What does it do? Block 4, did that. Add a penalty card to the top of my deck. No! X. Boo. I'm actually really fearful over here. I already have 3 cards in my discard. I can't seem to just make tons of progress towards that first side. Just the cards are not coming together for me, and the boss powers and all that. It's blocking all of my boons. Laser eyes kind of helps me cut through stuff, but I can't use laser eyes. Got my X, OLD. Let's see what I can do with that. All right, so this is super fun. I think I pulled a rabbit out of my you-know-what. So let's go ahead and spell detox. Unbelievable. With Rocket Punch. So that X goes away. I don't have to deal with it. The penalty would have been remove 1 boon, which no. I like my boons. Then we are going to have 5 shield. 5 shield is going to block the 4 damage and reprise for 2. So that is 2 HP down. And lose 1 HP, which gladly put me way down at 23. Only still above my max. So then that is going to be 4 swords. And the 2 swords from Rocket Punch make 6. Boom! You don't know how long I was sitting here looking for that. Looking at my cards. One of these days, I'm just going to like have a playthrough where I'm filming all of my thinking, and it's going to be like 20 minutes of silence. I would never do that to you people. But that was really satisfying. However, I used my O. The O is offense. And I don't know how much I have left for this boss. Hopefully, they deal me some damage. I deal 10 damage. There you go. Let's see if I can block that 10 and add some... Ooh, what is that? Add any card from your fatigue pile to your hand. I don't have a fatigue pile. I'm not really sure what that means. Oh, wait a minute. Fatigue pile. That's not the penalty cards. I got my words mixed up. Fatigue pile is the good cards. I'll take that. Let's see if I can block this 10. I'll take a thought. Probably not because I have no energy. I really would need Rocket Punch for that. So let's go ahead and pick our 4 cards. N-A-R-W. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of damage, but I think I can take it. Yet another case in which I am spending so much time off camera just thinking through this thing. The sign of a great game. So we are going to go with Warn. So the Reflect does nothing. I mean, as a matter of fact, you see all of my cards do nothing. This sounds good, but it would be blocked by that, and I don't have enough ability to give hexes to really get where I want. So just gonna eat the damage, really. So I am going to eat 10 damage. Well, first of all, let's do my things. So let's get 4 energy total because of the unused wild and the 3 symbols here. Deal 3 damage. Oh my god. That's where I messed up. I don't have enough of these symbols. These are underrated. Need that. Just can't turn offense into defense all the time. So I'm going to just eat the 10 damage. And the 10 becomes 7. And I add a card from my fatigue pile to my hand. That's what a whole bunch of hit points are for. 16 damage. So that's not bad. I have a heal incoming when I beat this boss. If I beat this boss, which I might not. I'm really worried. The fatigue card I'm going to retrieve is, of course, this H. Because I have so many shields. Turn that into offense, maybe. The good news is that next turn is kind of a free turn. You lose 5 AP for every penalty card in your hand and discard pile. I don't have any. I was really good about dealing with those penalty cards as they came. So I'm just going to try to wail on the boss as much as I can. So that is going to be H in the hand, and then T was the last card on my deck. Let's pull 2 more, N, D. And definitely tap Rocket Punch this turn. All right, a little bit of a retcon. I did not have 4 energy, I had 3. Because I had 5 block to every action unless you have the enemy vowel in your word. Warn, the last word, did not have the enemy vowel. So I had to use Warned, E, and the wild, which means that I did not save the wild last turn. I don't have that much. I will use Rocket Punch and bring myself down to 0. And spell Hunted. H-U-N. Where's your T? Come on, T. There you are. Don't hide. Don't be shy. T-E-D. So let's see how many shields I have for offense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rocket Punch gives me 2, 5, 6. Force Field gives me 2. So 7, 8. So that's 8, 9, 10 damage. Woohoo! Hope! Hope! And 1 piddly energy back. But at least I have a little bit more breathing room on there. Doesn't do anything. So let's see. Next, it's going to block 4 and add a penalty card. And then I hopefully can kill it on reprisal damage. Ugh. All right, last 3 cards of my deck that time are R, L, A. And let's go ahead and draw. That is going to be a D. 1 energy. I'm going to have to nurse that. All right, so this right here is what we call a setup turn. Gonna deal 4 damage, but I am not gonna matter because it blocks 4. I get 3 energy. That is the part that is set up, and also get the 1 for not using the word. Plus, it blocks, and I'm not gonna use the E, so it doesn't even matter. And I gain 2 boon. Let's sneak in there and get some extra boon while the getting is good. Next turn, deal 12 damage. We'll see about that. All right, I am down to the nitty-gritty. The 2 cards that were left in my deck are NT. Let's go ahead and pull 2 more. AR. Uh-oh. At the very least, we know we're going to use Rocket Punch this turn. So the T was really the key card that I needed to pull. And I just kind of making things work around that T. Let's go ahead and spell Tanner. That is of course it's a word. I keep on saying that, of course it's a word. When it's obviously, it's a word. Lose 1 HP. I am down from 16 down here, marking myself at 15. For 5 attack. 6, 7, 8. I use the E, so there is no shield. 10 is the Rocket Punch. That gets me down from 11 to 1. Oh my god, where am I going to get this 1? Laser eyes. Dink! I spend 1 hex and 1 energy to do 1 damage to the boss. Oh my god! I was just a little bit smarter than you, sentient AI. Y'all have no idea how long it took me to plot that out because of the hole I put myself in with the way I built my deck. Just not enough offense. Going to rectify that as soon as I can. All right. As the shaken scientists recount how their creation went rogue, a message appears on the screen.
I am not yours.
Vacuum tubes and cables flail and surge to life one more. But you pull the scientist to safety. Grateful, the scientist offers some items to help you. I get 2 cards from the library, choose 1 to add to my deck, not replace. Draw 3 boss MacGuffins, choose 1 to keep. Heal 5 HP. 5, how cheap is that? And draw 2 items and keep both of them. That's pretty nice. So let's draw 2 cards and add to the library. X, doubtful, but let's see. If there are 2 shield icons or more in your word, that will likely be. Gain 1 for every 1 attack in my word. I don't have a lot of attack in my words, so let's go ahead and pass on that, or at least hold that. R, gain 2 shield. If the enemy is not attacking, gain 2 attack instead. Very flexible. Very nice. Ooh, and it upgrades? Oh, wow. Okay. R, you are in. Let's check out these very, very powerful, very delicious boss MacGuffins. Spacer's Juice, you heal 1 for every 2 you have at the end of the battle. That's not likely at all. Strategy Guide. If the enemy Val is your top card, stun the enemy. Woo-hoo! Oh, man, that's like an auto stun. That kind of get out of jail free card if I use the Val on top. Possible. Miniature Heart, draw 1 more card each hand. Yep, that's it. 1 more card each hand is so good. That's mine. Also, draw 2 items and keep both of them. All right, Silver Amulet. Discard any card in your hand and gain 2, then flip this card. All right, a quick 2 energy to feed Rocket Punch or whatever else I got going on. Or perhaps Fearsome Banner, another single-use card. Gain a hex. You know how hard it is to get hexes in the boss. It's cool. If the enemy is attacking, which they usually are, they attack for half that amount, then flip this card. All right, I think I can find some use for that. I have 4 boon. The next boss is going to attack boon, so I'm going to spend it. So first of all, I'm going to get this eye that I've had my eye on. I need symbols. Lots of symbols right over here, so let's go ahead and take that. The letters would replace a card in your deck. The shop's directions are very specific, so we're going to take out this A. I haven't used Reflect at all. I might start, but I have another card that has Reflect, so that's okay. That's number 1. Number 2, I get to upgrade a letter. I'm going to upgrade this card that I already got. So this flexible card, which would give me 3 and 3. So that is going to be really good. On to the Book 3 Lackey. Book 3 Lackey. I have 2 battles left. Now I'm going to face off against the Alien Queen. So look at all of these vowels that could be given to me. A, I, E, but you stick me with you. That's already a bad sign. So first line, I block 5 and gain 3 boon. She works off of boon. And then the second line, I deal 2 damage for every boon. So then that would be 6 damage shot right away. And then 3 damage and remove 3 boon for myself. That's why I spent whatever I did to improve my deck, because I knew she would suck up my boon. If you ever completely block my attack, you may remove 1 boon from me. That is part of why I built my character for block, to deal with her. So there's a lot of ways to block the attack and remove some boon. On the other side, obviously she'll do more with boon, but we're going to take care of her before all that. So I got my increased pile of items. I put the draw here, draw 1 more card each hand just to remind me. So each hand I'm going to be drawing 5 cards, which is, I don't know if other ones match up. I just think that's such a great benefit. SLIDR. All right, let's go ahead and spell the word that leapt out of the deck. Slider. So shields down, which means they get 2 hex, and they are not going to attack me, so I don't have to worry about that reprisal. And I'm going to get past their block 5 fairly easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to do 3 damage. I will take that. And I get myself 3 energy, only 3 because I had to use the wild for that. Stupid enemy vowel. Don't like that at all. But they are going to respond by getting 3 boon. All right, next up, wow, picking 5. I'm flying through my deck right now. TWORE. A word does not leap out at me for this so far. All right, so let's go ahead and spell tower. Actually, I have a couple of options. I was thinking of rote and a couple other things, but this is fine. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shield for you. And the R power brings me to 11. That's plenty. Wish I was reflecting, not reflecting. That's okay. That's 6 damage that is coming in. Actually, you know what? I should mark that energy first. There you go. Now I listen to that. That is 6 damage for every one of these on me and on you. I have 0. It has 3. So then 6 damage coming to me, completely blocked. So when I block, I move 1 boon down. Also, when I block, I reprise. So I block 6. So it's taking 3 damage. It's slow, but I feel like it's sure in terms of a way to beat the boss. This defensive strat I have here. All right, last 2 cards in my hand were N and H. So I draw 3 cards. D, T, come on, Val. Okay. I will work with something that's going to emerge from all that. I had gotten the energy from the unused wild, so I'm at 6. I'm going to go down to 1 and put up my force field. All right, I don't think I'm going to be able to use all those letters, so I'm going to take the one letter I'm not using, T, and turn that with my silver amulet, discard any card in your hand and gain 2 energy, into energy, and continue with my defense into offense. Hound. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. My force field gives me 5, 6. That is, shields also count as attack. That is 6, 7, 8 damage. It's not doing anything about that. So we are going to go from 14 to 6. Yeah. Although that's my big hitter. Hopefully I can get that back at some point. And I deal 3 damage. No, you don't. And that's extra reprisal damage. So that is going to go down to 4 and remove 3 boon for myself. Man, lady, that is not great. And because I blocked all your damage, you go down 1 boon. Oh my gosh. Hopefully I can try to flip you somehow this turn. That'd be great. All right, so I have drawn my deck. I had 5 cards left in there. I got an RWILE. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all that in there. There are some words, but I like not using my wild to get that extra energy. We'll see what happens. All right, so I'm actually going to use Rocket Punch and Laser Eyes this turn. It is imperative that I flip the boss before they get that extra boon. All right, so we are going to go with Rile, as in rile them up. So we're going to give 2. Well, first of all, I'm going to do the effects of the items. So the Laser Eyes, I spend 1 energy. I already had spent it. I spend 2 of the Hex, and they are going to lose 3 hit points. Well, they're going to lose 2 hit points. Sorry about that. 2 and 2. Let me go ahead and read that. Reading is fundamental. There you go. So now, then I get to use the Rocket Punch, which adds 7. So I have 5, 6, 7. They block 5. There's 2. That's what I was talking about. That is what will flip the boss. Bam. So they do not do their adding boon. They just did nothing until they're going to be just doing that next turn. And I get 3 energy out of the deal. Very nice. Oh, I forgot to do the whole thing. Let's get that back up. R lets me add 2 skulls. And now I'm at 2 hexes on the boss. All right, no more free turns for me. Let's go ahead and select that. By the way, where have you been all my life? I'm loving having those 3 swords. D-L-I-O-E. Ooh, that is a lot of vowels. And oh yeah, once again, I keep on... I may have forgotten that a couple of times, but this unused wild card, I would just be really disciplined about giving myself the credit when I don't use it. Let's use Rocket Punch once again and spell load. Mother load, that is. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shields. We have 2 shields from Force Field, 2 shields from Rocket Punch, 5, 7, 9. I deal 9 damage. Bam! Yes! You shall do nothing to me. I love that. All right. So I blocked her incoming damage, so she's going to lose a boon. She has the same thing. If you ever completely block my attack, you may remove one boon from me. She's at 0. Oh! I get 1 energy and also another energy from the unused wild. I get 1 boon, and I give the boss 1 hex. That is great. And oh, by the way, I should probably move that marker to 16. 16 hit points, that ain't so bad. And the reprisal damage, because of the Spike Buckler, my MVP, the whole center of my strat, I blocked all the damage, loses HP equal to half the damage block rounded up. I blocked 9 damage, so that is 5. So they are down from 16 to 11. Fantastic. And so this is where attrition might hit me. I have my 2 letters, N and T, that were left in the deck. I'm going to be reshuffling every round now. W-I-L. I only have 2 letters left in my hand, then 1, then 0. And the boss is going to block the next 2 attacks. So as much as she has not threatened me with hit points, I'm still at 20 hit points, which is what I started the battle with. If I can't overcome that by the time I run out of cards, then I would lose. So that is one danger that I have in terms of this defensive strat that I'm setting up. All right, I am not loving the fact that I'm not using all of my letters, but I'm doing the best I can here. All right, so we get 2 energy from that, 1 energy from the unused wild. That technically happens at the end of the turn, but where it doesn't matter, I'm just going to try to include it just to make sure I mark it. All right, lose 1 HP. I go rocket down from 20 to 19. The only damage I've taken so far in this whole fight, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Block 3, so then that is going to be 6 damage total, bringing the boss down to 5. I love that. Block 3. Okay, fine. Remove all boon from me. I heal 3 for every boon removed, which is why I made a point of lowering the boon. That's a big heal. If they that would have been like 9 heal or something. No thanks. Not living that life. So I actually do not need to draw cards anymore. Man, this Alien Queen went down real easy. Go ahead, Sky, one of the co-designers of here. If they're watching, go ahead and hit me up to see if I cheated at any point. Although I built to beat her, so I don't feel so bad. I'm going to use Fearsome Banner, give 1 skull. Anything else doesn't matter, it just gives 1 skull. That is 4 energy. And then I'm going to use Laser Eyes for 1 energy because giving 1 skull puts her at 4. And using Laser Eyes at 4 energy does 7 damage. The boss has 5 health. Goodbye. I need to reevaluate my life choices. That was too easy. Now marooned on the uncharted planet in Sector 4, our intrepid hero returns to the strange creatures the Queen called her pets. With the cleverest use of astronaut ice cream on this or any planet, okay, the creatures befriend our hero and bring all manner of gifts from their burrows. Draw 1 card from the library to replace a card in your deck. Ooh, that's not great. Draw an item and keep it. Draw a random MacGuffin. Those are really good. Lose 2 HP. I can do that. Lose 2 HP within the context of a defensive-minded strat. Have not used my improved N yet for the big heal. I'm out 17, but I don't care. All right, first of all, draw a random letter and keep it. V. It's almost like a penalty card. Good Lord. Gain 4. I'll take the offense. If the card is in hand at end of turn, retain it. Our first retain power coming at the end of the game. It says, draw the 1 card and replace it. This is mandatory. I cannot just toss this aside, even though I kind of want to. All right. I was mindful of this anyway. So right now I have 2 R's in my deck. Both good. Both really good, but this one's upgraded and flexible. This one I've used every game, but it's the only letter that I can really think of that I don't need. Except for maybe the end, but I have a feeling that this boss does way more damage. So I'm going to need that heal. So we're going to go ahead and tuck that R. That's fine. And replace it with a V. Draw 1 item and keep it. Toxic Dart. Discard any card in your hand and give 2. Okay. I'll take that. Give 2 skull. So I kind of traded that. Not the best trade in the world, but I mean for 0 energy, 1 shot. I'll take it. Draw a random MacGuffin. Let's see what I get on the bottom over here. Coupon book. If there are 3 or more boon on you at the start of the clash phase, gain 2. That's probably not happening. If the enemy has 3 or more hex on them, gain 2. Sure. That's happening. And it is my precious block, so I am loading up on block this turn. Fabulous. The final battle is nigh. On to Book 3, Boss. Final boss time, Mad Scientist. All right, 24 hit points. The vowel is the A. I will take that. First line is block 2 and give 1 skull. Skulls are important. For every penalty card in your word, remove a skull from yourself. That's good. Headache, I've encountered this before in other bosses. You draw 1 less card each hand for every skull on you, which is why I really wanted that MacGuffin. Another reason why I wanted that MacGuffin. So then moving on, deal 10 damage, deal 7 damage, and give 1 skull. Deal 5 damage, deal. Let's see if my defensive strat works out here. Oh, by the way, last line is you add 2 penalty cards to your discard pile. I might want to skip this one and get straight to here. I haven't showed this power yet, but if you use the enemy vowel, it's a top word, advance the enemy action indicator by 1, that would change the enemy action. So if it was here, using an A would skip it here, they would do this, skip this one. So I might just set up, because I don't like drawing less cards, I have no way to remove skull, so adjustment in my strat right there. All right, while I have it, let me enjoy that 5 cards that I'm drawing of VORTE. So there are actually a lot of potential words I could make. I could make voter, rove, all sorts of things. I have flexibility to fire off any one of these powers. So thinking about it, once again, not filming my thought process, which is so much of this game. I am going to discard a couple of cards. Let's discard that T and discard this O, the offense card. We'll get to you later. We are going to go ahead and flip Toxic Dart. Discard a card and get 2 hexes on the boss. Silver Amulet, discard a card and get 2 energy. All right, 2 hexes on the boss, 2 energy for myself. And we are going to spell Eve. About as good as I can do with the more limited options, prioritizing energy. So I use the wild, but I do get this 5 off of the cards. I get 1 boon and 1 hex, giving me up to 3. This is what I wanted. This 3 hex, that's how I was planning it out. I'll show you why I want that at the beginning of the next round. I block 2, so you're going to block my little dinky 1. Think. And give 1. All right, so now I only pull the 4 cards. Oh, man, I really wanted that 5 card, but whatever. ILWH. I think I could form a word out of that, and I like all those shields. I need all those shields. So, Starbase Plans. The reason why I put the 3 hex on there. If the enemy has 3 or more hex on them, the start of the clash phase. The clash being the moment where I apply my letters to combat, including prep and everything. But I was able to do it before everything. I get my 2 shield. All right, let me see. I think I could use all these letters. Let's go ahead and give it a whirl. I don't like using the wild, but I'm doing it here because I wanted to count up the shields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. If I did force field, that would get me to 10, which would block the whole attack and reprise for 5. That'd be nice. All right, we're just going to do it. Let's just going to give it a whirl. I've been trying different combinations of this, but I think just going the straightforward, spending 5 on the flip of the force field just to have that for the entire time. So that's 4 off of my items, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then let's go ahead and change that. That's what's happening. Dealing 10 damage. No, you're not. So I'm going to block and give that back for 5, which brings them down to 19. Used my wild, so I only get the 2 energy, but that's enough for now. And oh yeah, gain 2 boon, metal shell. This is a consonant right there. So not that I have much to do with the 2 boon because I don't have items that key off a boon, but it's better than nothing. So the last 3 cards in my deck were S, N, and D. And let's go ahead and pick one more. Okay, we'll see about that. And I have this that I'm strongly thinking about because if I let the effect happen, which is to get hit for 7 damage and take another card denying hex, this one is advance the enemy's action indicated by 1, so it would skip 1, and we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, though, I don't think I can skip this and kill him in time for this. This is just going to hit me anyway, so I might as well try to kill him. It needs 2, and just eat that. For every penalty card in my word, I remove 1, and he's going to give me penalty cards next turn, so it's not hopeless. I could try to kind of cycle through, but I am just not happy with this last boss's approach. Anyway, Vens, it's an E. So I get, and also what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 energy on Smoke Bomb. Smoke Bomb is going to give me 3 shield this turn. So with Spiked Buckler, Force Field, and with Starbase Plans, that's what I meant, and Force Field, that's 2, and Smoke Bomb, that's 3, I block the entirety of the 7 damage without having to use the card at all. So then I give the enemy 3 shield as well, but the shield specifically, because of the Spike Buckler wording, the enemy loses HP. It is not an attack. It is just losing HP as if they were taking a poison hit. So then they are going to go 19 to 15 just from that block. So that's really nice. It will block these swords. So then gain 4. So let's say that's gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 6 hit, and that is down to 9. I am very hopeful that I can hit him and take him down at least here, possibly here, but do not get hit by that second. That would be my 3rd skull, actually. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and get to 5 energy. And now I am down to 3 cards. If I didn't have that MacGuffin over here, I'd be down to 2. HIR. All right, so I have one last tool in the box that I have not used that I'm going to use now, and I have a feeling I'm going to be using it a couple times. Reboot switch. Spend 1 boon to discard as many cards you want from your hand. Then draw a card for each you discarded, plus an additional card. I'm not going to discard. I'm fairly happy with these cards. And I have a couple of cards in there that could help me, that actually make a word out of this. So I'm not going to discard any. I'm just going to draw a card. Let's go ahead and spend a boon. I can do that 3 more times. 1 activation per turn. So let's just get my 1 card. T. All right. Yes, that now I can form a word. The game really puts it on you, but it does not leave you without resources, which is the reason I love this game. Card-based, lots of options, lots of offense, so you could use those options. I can't stop extolling the virtues of this thing. We are going to spell 3rd. All right, so we're going to lose 1 HP. We're going to rock it all the way down to 16. I cannot remember the last time a boss actually damaged me, which is a good thing. The big threat has been attrition. So I've even though the bosses aren't threatening my hit points, it's still pretty hard. Lose 1 HP and gain 5. That is really important. So that is 8 on the cards. So that's going to be 8, and that's going to take the boss down to 1 because they're not blocking anything. I deal 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have blocked the whole thing, and I have all sorts of block all over the place. So that is going to return fire for 3, and that is going to turn the boss over. They are not going to do this. So theoretically, I would want 2 penalty cards because that's how I can wipe this skull. But on this side, they're going to add 3 penalty cards. I didn't want both of those things, which is why I prioritize trying to flip the boss this turn. But as it is, they are stunned. They don't do anything, and they're going to do this block 3, add 3 penalty cards next turn. Let's deal with it. Sorry about that. Let's mark that the right way. We are going to put that right there for the first. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is pretty awkward. They're nice when they fit in, but getting them there can be a little bit of an adventure. So 2 damage of overflow brings them down to 18. Now that's okay. All right, my last 2 cards on deck were OW, pulling 1 card again. Boss. All right, I have, oh, look at that. It just fell into a word right there. Let's see if that's a word I want to use. Sure, why not? So I could go with this W. There's all sorts of options that I have, but they're blocking. They're not attacking. So let's go ahead and just play the cards as is. We're going to get 1, 2, 3 energy from the unused wild card, making 9. Blocks the 2. The important part is that shields down 2. So we're going to push Hex from 3 to 5. That's going to come in real handy. Block 3 and add 3 penalty cards to your discard pile. I'm not going to see those this coming turn because my deck is so slow, but I have sorry about that. JZV to look forward to on future turns. Let's go ahead and pull our Mighty 3 cards. I may just do the reboot switch just to recycle my deck and get something else. R and I better be able to make a word out of all that. This is quite unorthodox, and I'm loving every minute of struggling with my hand to come up with the best stuff. All right, first of all, we are going to use Rocket Punch. Welcome back, Rocket Punch. I feel like I've used it in a while. Gain 2 for the low price of 3 energy. So from 9 to 6. And we are going to go with Sarin, as in sarin gas. As in, I only know this word because it was mentioned in Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2, 3? I'm not sure. Something poisonous, but something glorious for my strat here. Anyway, so the wild doesn't do anything. It bumps the A. The A is, sorry about that. That should be here. Advance the enemy action indicated by 1. That's important because this advances is past this deadly 2 skull. I'm pulling cards pretty slowly. I can't do this. Remove cards from my hand for playing penalty words. Can't do it. So we're just going to skip that for now. Hopefully by the time I come around next time, he'll either be dead or I'll have cards to discard. Great. So that is done. I don't do any of these other things, but I do inflict 4 damage. Can't forget that. Oh, sorry about that. 6 damage. We're going to go down to 12. So then I deal 5 damage for every penalty card in your hand. There are none. Move those penalty cards to the penalty card discard pile. There are none. And so this A actually gets removed from the game to come back next round, but I can no longer use this A in my words. All right, my letters are DH. Once again, pulling 1 more card to make 3. That is an R. That is no vowels. I pumped it on my A. Oh no. Laser Eyes might be my saving grace. All right, we're going to pop the top right there. We're going to spend 1 energy and 4 hex in order to do how much damage? 7 damage to the boss. That brings the boss down to 5. That is highly doable. All right. The boss only blocks 3 this turn. We're going to spell hard. This boss is really hard because of all the card denial. This was the big hammer. Your shields also count as these things this turn. So I don't get the star-based plans anymore because they are down to 1 boon. But I do get the force field, which is 2 shields, 5, 7. I have 7 attack, 8 attack. That overcomes the 3, 7, 6, 5, 5 to 0. I have taken out the mad scientist. 2 for 2 on my playthroughs. Yeah! In your face, mad scientist. I can't believe I've been outsmarted by this doofus. Get out of here! Believe it, sucker. 2 for 2 paperback adventures. I love this game. Lightning arcs from the ominous Tesla coil in the center of the room. The mad scientist laughs as he and his brain begin to rise from the floor. Determined, you knock over the towering Tesla coil, and the scientist falls with a loud thump. Now I have time to peruse his research notes. You win! Congrats. Ignore the awards below unless told otherwise by Book 4. There is no Book 4. I have won my second game. I keep on saying that. But I'm going to keep saying it. I'm so proud. I've won my second game of Paperback Adventures on the One Stop Co-op Shop. One more playthrough to go of Paperback Adventures. I will feature Plot Hook versus their series of enemies. Even after I finish these playthroughs, I'm still probably going to have this game at my bedside and taking it out and going through a delve every once in a while, mixing up the enemies, exploring different strategies. There's so much to explore here. I never thought that a word game would enter my top 5 or 10 of all time, but here we are. I love this game. I can't wait to show you again, and I hope that you join me for the 3rd playthrough. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop, reminding you that we'll see you at the next stop.